What if Ash had Greninja's Mega Evolution in Pokemon XYZ? Now, before everybody says this is way too overpowered, I actually found a way to balance it while making the story even better. Instead of replacing Ash Greninja, this timeline stacks Mega Evolution on top of the Bond phenomenon. That means Greninja keeps everything that made Ash Greninja special while gaining the power of Mega Evolution. So let's get into it. Everything starts exactly like the original Kalos journey. Froakie still chooses Ash because it wants a trainer worthy of its strength. Ash catches Talonflame, Hawlucha, Goomy, and Noibat, and Froakie quickly proves itself to be the ace of the team. As the journey continues, Froakie evolves into Frogadier, and later into Greninja. Nothing really changes until Ash battles Diantha. During Greninja's battle against Mega Gardevoir, the Bond phenomenon wakens exactly like it did in the anime. Professor Sycamore is completely shocked because Greninja transformed without using a Mega Stone. Instead of dismissing it as a completely different phenomenon, he begins wondering if it's somehow connected to Mega Evolution. Everything else continues like the original series. Ash and Greninja struggle to control the Bond phenomenon. They lose at Snowbell Gym because Ash becomes too focused on winning, and after rebuilding their trust, they finally master the Ash Greninja transformation before the Kalos League. This is where the timeline changes. Professor Sycamore calls Ash back to his lab and shows him a mysterious Mega Stone that has never reacted to any Pokemon before. The moment Greninja walks near it, the stone suddenly begins glowing. After studying it, Sycamore realizes the Bond phenomenon is producing the same energy needed for Mega Evolution. Since no Greninja has ever achieved a bond like Ash and Greninja's, the stone had never awakened before. He officially names it Greninjate. Ash and Greninja immediately begin training with it, but they quickly discover one major problem. Ash Greninja is already completely mastered. Mega Evolution isn't. Every time they try stacking Mega Evolution on top of the Bond phenomenon, the power becomes overwhelming. They can only hold the transformation for a few seconds before both of them become completely exhausted. Knowing the form isn't ready, Ash decides not to use it during the Kalos League unless he absolutely has to. The tournament plays out almost exactly like the original timeline. Ash Greninja carries Ash through every major battle and defeats Sawyer's Mega Sceptile once again, earning Ash a spot in the finals. Then comes Alain. Just like in the original anime, both trainers battle through their teams until everything comes down to the final matchup. Ash Greninja versus Mega Charizard X. The battle begins almost exactly like the original. Alain uses his years of experience with Mega Evolution to keep the fight even, while Ash Greninja matches Charizard with its incredible speed and power. Realizing this is the moment they've been saving it for, Ash activates the Greninjade. The Bond phenomenon remains active. Mega Evolution stacks on top of it. For the first time ever, Mega Ash Greninja appears. The transformation is unstable, but its overwhelming power completely changes the battle. Mega Ash Greninja overpowers Mega Charizard X in one final clash, knocking it out before the transformation collapses from exhaustion. The referee raises Ash's flag, Ash defeats Alain and becomes the Kalos champion. After becoming the Kalos champion, Ash finally accomplishes the dream he's been chasing since the beginning of his journey. News of his victory spreads across every region, and for the first time, trainers everywhere recognize Ash as one of the strongest trainers in the world. Before leaving Kalos, one final problem remains. Zygarde still needs Greninja's help destroying the giant roots left behind by Team Flare. At first, Greninja plans to stay behind just like in the original timeline, but everything changes because of the discovery of the Greninjite. Professor Sycamore publishes all of his research on the mysterious Mega Stone, explaining how Ash and Greninja were the first trainer and Pokemon to ever awaken it. That discovery inspires trainers all across Kalos to train their own Greninja. Over the next several months, more and more Greninja begin Mega evolving throughout the region. While none of them possess the Bond phenomenon like Ash's Greninja, their Mega Evolution gives them enough power to sense and destroy the remaining giant roots. Instead of relying on one Greninja, Kalos now has dozens. Seeing this, Zygarde realizes Greninja is no longer the only Pokemon capable of protecting the region. Its mission is finally complete. Ash and Greninja leave Kalos together and arrive in Alola. Unlike the original timeline, Ash arrives in Alola as the reigning Kalos champion. Professor Kukui already knows exactly who he is, and many trainers are excited to meet the champion that defeated Alain and discovered Mega Greninja. Greninja quickly becomes the mentor of Ash's new team. Instead of carrying every battle, it spends most of its time helping Rowlet improve its speed, teaching Lycanroc better battle instincts, and constantly sparring with Torracat until it eventually evolves into Incineroar. Even Melmetal grows much faster because it regularly trains against a champion-level Pokemon. Ash also continues practicing Mega Ash Greninja. Whenever it's safe to do so, the transformation is becoming more stable than it was in Kalos, but it still drains both Ash and Greninja so much that they reserve it for only the toughest situations. Most of the island challenge stays the same, but Ash approaches battles much differently after everything he learned in Kalos. He battles with far more confidence and experience. Eventually, the Alola League begins. Even though Ash is already a regional champion, he enters because he wants to prove that his Kalos victory wasn't a one-time achievement. The tournament plays out similarly to the original, with Rowlet, Lycanroc, Incineroar, and Melmetal all getting their moments to shine. Greninja is only used against the strongest opponents, allowing the rest of Ash's team to continue growing throughout the tournament. In the finals against Gladion, Lycanroc still delivers the final victory, just like in the original anime, earning Ash his second league championship. With Kalos and Alola now behind him, Ash has established himself as one of the greatest trainers in the world, and his sights are set on an even bigger goal: the World Coronation Series. Ash returns to Kanto before receiving an invitation to compete in the World Coronation Series. This tournament brings together the strongest trainers from every region, and Ash immediately decides it's his next goal. Ash soon meets Go, and the two begin traveling the world together. While Go focuses on catching every Pokemon, Ash is focused on climbing the World Coronation Series rankings. Knowing the competition is far tougher than anything he's faced before, Ash decides to build a brand new team around his ace. Along the journey, Ash catches Dragonite, Gengar, and Riolu. Riolu is immediately fascinated by Greninja because it can sense how powerful its aura has become through years of using the bond phenomenon. Greninja takes Riolu under its wing, becoming its main training partner. Instead of learning only from Ash, Riolu trains every day against Greninja. Charizard, Sceptile, and Infernape also help during visits to Professor Oak's lab, giving Riolu experience against some of Ash's strongest Pokemon long before it evolves. Eventually, Riolu evolves into Lucario. Because of all that training, this Lucario becomes much stronger much earlier than in the original timeline. Its aura control improves rapidly, and once it unlocks Mega Evolution, it adapts to the form much faster after learning from Greninja's own experience balancing overwhelming power. Ash still catches Dracovish during his travels, but instead of keeping 7 battlers, he rotates Dracovish with Surfetch'd depending on the opponent, while Greninja remains the permanent ace of the team. As Ash climbs through the normal, great, and ultra classes, trainers quickly realize this isn't the same Ash they remember. He's already a 2-time league champion, and now he has Mega Ash Greninja leading his team. Battle after battle, Ash defeats stronger opponents while giving Dragonite, Gengar, Lucario, and Surfetch'd opportunities to grow into champion-level Pokemon. Throughout the journey, Ash also reunites with many of his old friends and Pokemon. Greninja returns to Kalos for short visits to train with the other Mega Greninja protecting the region, while Lucario continues learning directly from Greninja whenever they have time to train together. After months of battling through the rankings, Ash finally earns enough victories to qualify for the Masters 8. Now only the 8 strongest trainers in the world stand between Ash and the title of World Champion. By the time the Masters 8 tournament begins, Ash and Greninja have finally accomplished what once seemed impossible. The Bond Phenomenon and Mega Evolution are now completely mastered together. After training since the Kalos League, Mega Ash Greninja has become the strongest Pokemon Ash has ever trained, and for the first time, the transformation no longer drains them after only a few seconds. Ash's first opponent is Steven Stone. The battle is incredibly close from start to finish. Steven's strategies constantly pressure Ash, forcing him to adapt throughout the match. Dragonite and Gengar help wear down Steven's team before Lucario faces Mega Metagross. After an intense battle, Mega Lucario barely defeats Mega Metagross, earning Ash a spot in the semifinals. Now standing in front of him is Cynthia, the champion that had dominated Sinnoh for years. The battle quickly becomes one of the greatest in the tournament. Both trainers constantly trade knockouts and answer each other's strategies until only one Pokemon remains on each side. Mega Ash Greninja versus Cynthia's Garchomp. The entire stadium goes silent. Garchomp's experience keeps the battle close, but Mega Ash Greninja's incredible speed and overwhelming power slowly begin turning the fight in Ash's favor. After one final clash, Greninja lands the finishing blow and defeats Garchomp, sending Ash to the World Championship Finals. Now only one trainer remains, Leon, the undefeated world champion. The battle is everything fans hoped it would be. Every Pokemon on both teams contributes, with neither trainer ever pulling ahead for long. Leon continues proving why he's considered the strongest trainer in the world, constantly forcing Ash to change his strategy throughout the battle. Eventually, everything comes down to the final matchup, Mega Ash Greninja versus Gigantamax Charizard. The two strongest Pokemon collide with unbelievable power. Charizard's years of battling as Leon's ace allow it to keep up at first, but Ash and Greninja have spent years mastering both the Bond phenomenon and Mega Evolution together. The advantage slowly shifts. After one final collision between Water Shuriken and Gigantamax Charizard's strongest attack, the smoke clears, Charizard falls, the referee raises Ash's flag, Ash has finally become the world champion. Hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to like and subscribe because we're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, and make sure to go watch What If Ash Had Lucario from the beginning, since that's one of my best videos I've ever made yet.